just go talk about strategic planning.
So this is another topic that comes up all the time when we're talking to companies as they're scaling, is that I think when companies are earlier in their life cycle, when they're new, the business strategy is the product strategy, right? Because we're trying to get product market fit. We're just trying to get those first customers on board, right? Everything is incredibly clear in terms of we need to, make sure we meet the market where it needs to be with our product. As we achieve some success and we start scaling, we have lots of new opportunity in front of us, whether that's in a single product or in multiple products. And we start to have to make choices about where we want to invest. And so we have to move away from having this sort of what is often, kind of a very simplistic strategy process to something that's a little bit more robust and a little bit more structured, because we, one, have more opportunities and we have more decisions to make. And two, we have a more complex organization that we're trying to keep aligned and moving forward. So when we think about the process of going through a strategy cycle, and let's just focus on the product strategy cycle for now, there's a strategy formulation that has to happen. This is making the strategy. And there's a whole bunch of work that has to happen there. And typically we're doing this out ahead of the execution process. We're, thinking 3, 6, 12 months out into the future, depending on where you are as a company. We're looking at the market. We're thinking about where we're going. We're thinking about what our competitors are doing. We're thinking about, financial targets that we have. And we're aligning as a senior leadership team often around what are the next best things to do with the product. Meanwhile, the strategy deployment process is in play. And that's the product development. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's, engineering, R&D teams building the things that we strategically decided that we wanted to do. And these systems need to be tightly coupled because there's new learning and information happening as we build and as we deploy current strategy that feeds back into the new ideas we have going forward for the future. So it's not just a one-way system, it has to be multi-directional. And again, this is where it really is beneficial for companies to start thinking about how do we intersect these two different systems that are running. And that to me is really where portfolio management lives, because it's helping us say, these are the bets that we want to make in the future. This is the information we have about how our current bets are performing today. And we need to be responsive, not just on an annual cycle, but more frequently saying, oh, we've learned something new here. Maybe we need to steer, to adjust a little bit our current execution plans so that we're staying in line with where we want to go in the long term. So this is just a picture of a little bit more blown out description here. The product strategy process, which is sort of saying, where are we going next year? What are those big initiatives that we think we're going to try to tackle? There's a lot of investment choices that are going to happen there. How do we build a balanced roadmap of that, right? What's the sequencing? What's the size of everything we're going to do, the size of investment, and then rolling out that final plan. But meanwhile, we've got that healthy execution process happening that's continuing to feed information in.
Right. I think, Rachel, you're really spot on. One of the observations that I also had is that, long time ago, we did like a 5-year vision, 3-year strategy. And then next you go to 3-year strategy, 1-year operation plan. And now we do 1-year strategy and quarterly. And now even do like a 3-month or 6-week kind of realignment. The market just moving so quickly, where strategy could be adjusted. The North Star is still there. The vision is still there. But adjusting the strategy and adjusting the initiative, the composition of the initiatives to become faster and faster.
Yeah, I like to think about the difference between planning and steering, right? I mean, we still, as a company, we need to know what our longer term goals are. We have destinations we're trying to get to, but there are so many different routes for us to get there, so many different ways to do that. And so to me, like, have a clear destination, have a clear vision, have a clear long-term strategy, but lots and lots of chances for steering along the way.
Right. Totally true.